Here momentarily. We're going to have Ruff as the now red Terran. He's switching up colors so often I can't really keep track, and Angry as the blue Terran. We'll see starting positions. I'm praying once again for close air positions.
Yeah, close air position's a definite possibility, actually a 50-50% possibility, and it really changes how players play this matchup. Close air positions, as you said, lead to a lot of drop play, but it is going to be a cross spawn here on Metalopolis. Angry spawning at the 6 o'clock position. Meanwhile, all the way on the other side, we're going to have Ruff spawning as the red Terran. So Terran versus Terran here, and already we see a very early SCV on the move.
I'm so excited seeing these SCVs move out every time. I mean, it's just fun to see what players going for, as Ruff once again going to be doing some sort of cheese here. Perhaps once again a proxy Rax, maybe even in the base of Angry. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get into the base and scout the position here without being seen by Angry. We'll see. Once again, did a very nice job in that other game against the Protoss player of Infinity Gaming. And it looks like he's just going to be able to sort of hedge his bets. He's going to be creating this barracks in basically the third base of the east and south positions here. And that's smart. That's going to be halfway between both possible starting locations for Angry. And that's going to be a spot that Angry is not going to scout.
Yeah, Ruff currently sitting at 9/19, stopping his SCV production. The supply depot is already up, and this is going to be dual Rax pressure here on Metalopolis. We need to see Angry perhaps do a little bit of scouting now, but a lot of Terran players tend to scout with a later Hellion or a later Reaper, and that is perhaps going to be Angry's downfall, as he is now going into Refinery. He does not have a wall on his front door, and this is going to be a definite problem.
Yeah, the Refinery going up for Angry, as you mentioned, and he's just opening the way you open in standard TVT. He might be going for a some sort of Reaper expand. I think we've seen from him before, especially on these far positions that could be a safe build. But he is not going to be expecting the cheese here from Ruff. The first barracks is done, the second halfway done. We do not yet have a Marine coming out, as Ruff had cut STVs, so he's very low on minerals and actually going for an orbital command here. So interesting timing, but he's going to need the mules to fuel the economy, as he just does have a limited number of SCVs.
Yeah, he definitely needs those mules right now, and he can't really train any additional SCVs as he would just end up supply locking himself. 2 SCVs, 1 Marine. He's gonna wait for perhaps a total of 5 Marines, and then try to push up that ramp in just a moment. And now Angry gonna come up this ramp, see that there is not a barracks, and we'll see whether he puts down a bunker. He should definitely put down a bunker after he scouts his opponent there, and after knowing what his opponent has currently gone for in previous matchups.
Yeah, he is looking desperately for that barracks, but he's got to suspect something, and we'll see whether he reacts with some sort of play. Actually adding a second gas, I'm not really sure why he would respond that way. He still hasn't seen the barracks of Ruff, and now Ruff doing his best to shoot and scoot into the base of Angry. He's got 2 SCVs as well, and he's able to focus down a few of these SCVs for Angry, and now he's got 5 Marines against just the 2 of Angry, and this is not going to end well for our blue Terran player.
No, Ruff does have 4 Marines left. Those SCVs are falling rather quickly. 14 SCVs compared to 9 now. Both sides battling it out. Another wave of reinforcements now coming in. SCVs do move slightly faster than Marines, so they are able to poke apart at those Marines as more reinforcements coming in. A Hellion needs to hurry up out of there. Can't be chrono boosted. SCVs once again taking the brunt of that damage, and now we are sitting at 12 SCVs compared to 8.
And if that Hellion comes out, it's going to be game over for Ruff. He does not have enough Harvesters. It's 9-12. He's been able to do decent amounts of damage, but now the Hellion is going to be doing its best against the Marines here. The Marines once again trying to focus down SCVs, and the Marines have Angry, but I think the Hellion here are going to put a stop to this pressure. Ruff able to get another SCV kill, and now it is 10-11. So relatively even SCV-wise, as we see Ruff trying to focus down the Hellion here as well. Again, the Hellion, without a good angle, it's going to take a little while to take down those Marines. And now the Hellion going to be going into the base of Ruff and trying to do a ton of damage there. And Ruff has these barracks at a position. It is relatively even, but I just don't like the positioning on his barracks. Not going to be able to defend against this Hellion.
Yeah, Ruff needs to get a bunker. He is going to be getting a bunker down over here, but it doesn't matter as the Hellion going to just drive up that ramp. There's the supply depot, and that SCV desperately running away. It will be able to escape as there are now 2 Marines out of position and going to try to challenge this one Hellion if they're able. Yes, they do have the same range, so the Marines want to try to get as much damage as possible without lining up next to each other. 1 Hellion in the front, 1 Hellion in the back, as those 2 Marines try to go toe-to-toe against 2 Hellions. But I think Ruff is going to lose this last Marine here in just a moment and now be able to put some pressure as there are no Marines and no production buildings on the inside of this base.
Yeah, and Ruff just forced to continue production of Marines out of these 2 racks. If he tries to lift those up and land them in his base, he's going to be so far behind, now getting out a factory of his own. And Angry, he has defended against the cheese, and he is expanding. He's ahead, and he's just going to get farther ahead.
Yeah, Angry also having 2 Hellions currently sitting here at the Xel'Naga Watchtower trying to use that splash damage. Perhaps going to get some a final shot off on that Marine. The Marine, not getting that one more shot. Who will be able to win in this toe-to-toe war? There you go. Hellion able to escape at 2 hit points.
Yeah, we see another pair of Marines going to be challenging this Hellion, as we see another Hellion coming out for Angry as well. So he's able to keep 2 Hellions on the field at all times, and that's going to be very powerful. Once you do get 2 Hellions, going to be very difficult to focus down for Ruff. He's got to micro the 1 Hellion though, as it is down to 2 hit points. And now it looks like Ruff is going to be able to get these 2 Marines across the field and into this bunker. And if he's able to pick up these barracks, he might be able to get into more of a normal game here. Angry has still not scouted these barracks, and we'll see whether Angry is actually going to be able to defend his expansion here against the proxy racks. The Marines of Ruff could actually push down and do a little bit more damage to the SCV line once the expansion does go up.
Yeah, we currently have a Banshee now already on the move out across the field. There are missile turrets in the base of Ruff though, and somehow, even though Ruff opened up with such a strange build, it now pretty much looks like standard terrain. A group of 5 Marines are going to be able to come in and get some damage onto these units over here. Both sides battling out 3 Marines against 4. Never a good number, as the Marines are going to be able to get a lot of damage. Hellions coming back around and finishing the job.
Yeah, those are some fried Marines, but again, as I mentioned, that natural was not very well defensed for Angry, and now Ruff picking up this barracks, going to be floating home with him, and does not have an expansion, as we see a Banshee doing a little bit of damage here, able to pick off 2 SCVs, and not a lot of Marines here, just the 2 in the bunker, so nothing to defend against this Banshee, and it is 19 Harvesters to 24. Cloak is on the way for Ruff, though, for his own Banshees, and we see a Viking about to pop out.
Yeah, the Viking now trying to give chase, but the Viking has the same movement speed as a Banshee. The Banshee will be able to return all the way home, and perhaps a Marine or 2 would be able to shoo away that Viking. Taking a look at the current worker count, it is 21 to 25, so slightly in favor of Angry at this time, as Angry also has his 2nd orbital command, and transitioning into the mid-game, he should be looking very, very strong.
So yeah, we open up with a cheese there, but now we sort of settled into a standard game. If we check the production, Angry does have 2 barracks, 1 starport, and 1 factory. Back in the base of Ruff, we see 2 starport, 1 factory, and 2 racks, so he's got a little bit of a production advantage, but he's going to be late on this expansion, as we see the command center just now starting. He does have the Viking out, and Cloak is about to finish, and 2 Banshees about to come out as well. So if Angry does not have enough for scans here, these Banshees could do quite a bit of damage. There are actually missile turrets for Angry in both mineral lines though, so nice job by him anticipating the Banshees.
Yeah, so 2 missile turrets, 1 Banshee once again on the hunt. It most likely will just get shot down, as there is also 1 Viking escorting Ruff's lone Banshee as well. And oh, this Banshee gonna see better days, now trying to run away, down to already to 80 hit points. The Viking gonna get it down to 60. And now that Banshee does need some love, as the 1 Banshee coming in and perhaps going to get some damage onto the mineral line. There is a missile turret though, but the Banshee does have a range of 6, so it will be able to put some bit of pressure. And now the Marines coming over as well, and the Raven also nearby. So this Banshee's days are numbered, as that Banshee trying to run away. It's already down to 56 hit points. The Viking should be able to catch up, do a little bit of that shoot and scoot tactic, and that Banshee will get shot down now.
So Angry is ahead 68 to 39 at the moment. So again, he's got that expansion. It's been down for a while, able to drop the double mules, and he's up at 10 harvesters. So the reign of Ruff could be coming to a close here after he was able to take 5 straight games off of Team Infinity and one of his teammates in Hasu.
Yeah, Ruff really will not be able to just exchange units for SCVs like he has been doing. The Banshees are rather expensive. It's not like trying to trade Hellions for SCVs. The Hellions do a lot more splash damage, but the Hellions obviously would have a very difficult time trying to run in here now with so many siege tanks. They could siege up in just a matter of seconds and then blast apart anything else. vVvNGry now sitting on 35 SCVs, and expansion already coming underway as well, so he'll be trying to take this high ground third base location, as we now see Ruff finally able to establish his second base.
Really like to see Ruff actually get up some siege tanks here as well to try to defend against the mostly tanks and Marines of vVvNGry, but he's going to be a little bit behind on tech. He just does not have the economy to support all these production structures and the tech that he currently has, and he's just going to be coming out with more and more Banshees, as you mentioned, trying to do some economic damage. In the last game, he was able to continuously sacrifice those Hellions for great returns, perhaps hoping to even things up a little bit here. It's 75 to 60, so making a small bit of progress towards that end, but we'll see. He's got quite a bit of supply here to make up still.
Yeah, vVvNGry does have that one Raven in the air, so the Raven will be able to spot those Banshees rather easily, as we are still seeing Ruff double training Banshees at this point, so that is a lot of Banshees to be adding to the numbers already. You can see another expansion coming in from Ruff as well, so both players trying to get a much more stronger macro style of play, as the Banshee finishes off one scouting Hellion trying to activate that Zelnaga Watchtower. Ruff gonna lose his second Hellion as well, but at least be able to keep track of the 3 Vikings, 1 Raven, and Banshee army composition.
Yeah, strong air superiority here for vVvNGry. He's going to be able to take down any Banshees, which Ruff does try to use for defense here. Ruff's got quite a few Marines, but the tanks of vVvNGry will be able to take those down quickly as well, and it's all going to be coming down here to these siege tanks, whether they can get into position and sieged up. They're doing so on the low ground, so these Marines will not be able to advance here and challenge those tanks, and we see the Vikings going to work on those Banshees.
Yeah, 1 point defense drone already able to intercept a lot of damage, and a second point defense drone could be coming underway. The Raven already had 200 energy before the first point defense drone, and now vVvNGry just trying to play it safe, but the Banshee's coming in from behind, perhaps going to get some damage. No, all the siege tanks still alive. One of them is down to 28 hit points, though, as a point defense drone could be dropped in just a moment.
Yeah, vVvNGry really needs to be careful here. Does not want to lose tanks. It's going to be difficult to reinforce this position. It takes a long time to get across this map, and the Banshee just going to be annoying as long as it can, as it does go down. And we see Ruff going for a counter here. A lot of Marines making their way into the natural of vVvNGry, perhaps going for a flank on the third, and he's going to try to find an angle where he can do some damage. I'm not sure how he's going to be able to defend against this push into his main, though.
Yeah, that point defense drone still intercepting a lot of attacks so far, as the Vikings are trying to finally shut it down. The Marines are going to try to push in. No, they are not. They're just hanging by, as the siege tanks with that range of 13 dealing so much damage, clearing out many of the production buildings, as we now see Ruff running off of three starports.
Yeah, trying to make up his lack of air units here, and he's coming out with a lot of Vikings, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to challenge the 2 Vikings vVvNGry has with the point defense drone down.
Yeah, vVvNGry also going to lose this expansion here on the high ground. The Marines were able to come over. No, the Marines are not finishing off the command center. The command center will not get taken down, and it looks like vVvNGry will end the reign of Ruff.
Yeah, it's probably a GG here for Ruff. Not really sure what he can come out with at the moment. He's just got 3 Vikings, 3 Marines, and another 3 of each on the way, but he's not going to be able to take on the Vikings here of vVvNGry if the point defense drones are down. He was able to take down 1, and it looks like the Raven actually dropping an auto turret instead of a point defense drone now does not have enough energy, and Ruff is wrestled back air superiority here. He's got now 6 Vikings compared to the 4 of vVvNGry, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to try to defend against this push of vVvNGry, as he's dropping into the main here with a full medevac full of Marines and just assaulting from all angles.
Yeah, the Marines able to get off 1 shot there. Marines now coming back from Ruff. Ruff will be able to finish off these Marines on the low ground, as the siege tanks are now pushing up. The siege tanks will be able to siege, and now once the high ground has been taken, more of these buildings are simply going to fall. I'm not quite sure what Ruff can do. He's trying to go into Banshees once more, but taking a look at the economy is of Ruff is not that shut down just quite yet. And now the Banshee now trying to get as much damage onto those Marines, perhaps getting some damage back onto that Siege Tank, as well as 2 Banshees are now coming in to try to finish this off. All those Marines, however, are currently in the red, so they're going to get one-shotted pretty easily, as the SCVs are now trying to give in, and a little bit of splash damage from those Siege Tanks, ending the lives of those Marines.
And I like that Angry is just macroing up very hard off this, as we see streams and streams of tanks and Marines making their way in here. And it looks like the GG should come momentarily. Ruff doing his best as he stims up these Marines once again, but they're stimming right into that Siege Tank, has 7 kills on it, and we see the LOL and the GG from Ruff, and Angry taking down his new teammate, putting an end to the reign of Ruff.
Alright, so what do we have in store? Could you tell us, as now that, are we going to go for a full King of the Hill style, or do we have still more games to come?
I think we have King of the Hill, and it's going to be Angry against Titan, and it's got a little bit of a special meaning to it, since last MLG, Angry knocked out Titan, so I'm sure Titan wants a little bit of revenge against his teammate. Angry was actually one of the first players of vVv Gaming to play in MLG, and he lost his first round matchup, was not very happy about it, but actually played very strongly through the open bracket, losers bracket, and eventually was able to make it quite deep into it, and he had to take out a teammate here or there, which I'm sure he had some qualms about, but he was able to take down Titan, again a very strong player from vVv Gaming, and we're going to have a matchup between those two coming up next.